Okay, cool.
Okay. All right.
Is this Brad?
All righty.
Oh, I got a story to tell you. This is awesome.
We tried.
I was I'm over here hiding the second half of this page, first hour of the show.
Hey, Clubhouse chatter continues. It's a madhouse in here.
It is.
Here's the madman, Norm Ordez.
Hey, that's right. Hey, we're back for a few more minutes here with Ryan, and we've got a McMinnville legend in the house with us today, and a good friend of our guest Ryan, and that's Bad Brad Davidson.
What's up, buddy?
So the plan was to have you on, and I wasn't expecting to have you in studio, but when you brought that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not. And then I was going to have Brad right after. And then when I talked to Brad was like, I'll just come on for 15, 20 minutes before I go to church, and we won't even tell him. I'm like, okay, cool. We could do that.
That sounds like Brad.
And so Brad's a trainer, and he is a trainer of many athletes, and we've had him on the show a couple of times. Also, author of the Stark Naked 21-day metabolic reset. Brad, how's it going?
It's going good. How you guys all doing?
We're doing pretty
well.
good.
I just want to point out that he's not just a McMinnville legend. He's a legend in Orange County as well.
He is. He is. And, his success, and it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's worked his butt off to get where he's at, and, we're definitely McMinnville's proud to claim him. And
he's, Brad and I met, gosh, what was it, 11 years ago now, Brad? Something like that, 11, 12 years ago.
Has it been that long? Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, I mean, other than being a good friend, he's largely responsible for a lot of the mental stuff that I teach, mindset stuff that I teach, just through. Well, I mean, we can talk about it or not, but just doing it started for me with some of the combat training some of the training that we Brad and I would do.
Right.
So, which that was kind of a turning point for me, for sure.
So, Brad, what have you been up to? What have you been up to lately?
I just got off the road of 2 weeks of crazy travel and speaking. I was actually up in Portland yesterday. I was speaking out of the Skamania Lodge out of Davidson, Washington. So I spoke to a group of CEOs out there. It's amazing out there. But then I had to get home. I haven't gone for too long for my wife and kiddos, so it's good to be home. Not to rub it in, but it's like 85 out. I'm sitting outside by the pool, loving life right now.
That's okay.
It's actually sunny here today.
It's actually sunny, and it'll be about 80, 85, and yeah, we don't have a pool, but hey, it all works. It's all good.
Well, I think that comment was directed at me too. So.
Hey, are you coming back home this summer?
Yeah, we've planned a trip with my parents and my brother and his wife. We're gonna do. We're going to fly into Portland. We're renting that Sprinter van. We're going to drive to Whitefish, Montana for a couple days, and Mount Rushmore for a couple days, and Yellowstone for a couple days. And then we'll be back in Mac, I think, on the July 10th and 11th for a couple days. So looking forward to that trip.
We'll need to get you to get together. Maybe I think that's right around the time when our Parks and Rec baseball season is closing up. Maybe we need to get you to come down and make an appearance at Joe Dancer Park.
Oh, that would be awesome. I saw some pictures you posted of just some kids playing ball down at Joe Dancer Park. Brought back a lot of old memories.
Doesn't it though? And I am so blessed, to call that home. I mean, that's my home away from home. I'm down there almost every morning doing something, and man, it's great. And so now you guys met through basically working out together and whatnot.
Yeah. So it was at the tail end of my playing career, and we had a mutual client, and I think they were kind of like, hey, you got to meet this guy Brad. And my background, I have a degree in exercise science. I'd always kind of trained myself, and I'd never allowed somebody else to train me. When I met Brad, he was so engaging and just had that passion to help people that I think we really connected. And so I kind of let go of my own ways of doing things and trusted Brad. And I mean, now he's the guy that I trust completely with my training, and we just became really good friends through that.
Yeah. And so, hey, Aaron Hicks, man, Dude, he's off to a great start.
Oh man.
Yeah, minus the fact that he tore up my Cubs in that series they last played. I'm not very happy about that, but super stoked for that guy. He's such a great kid, and there's a lot of hype around him. Struggled a little bit in Minnesota, and just it's good to see him tearing it up. I can't wait for Coach Girardi over there. Just let him roll. Are you
working with any who what other baseball players are you currently working with? Well, I mean it's in season, but
yeah, I didn't work with many baseball players. I've really made a shift into the NFL.
Right.
So that's kind of been where I've been more focused. I got, last year I worked with Carson Wentz and Jared Goff for the draft.
Oh, that's awesome.
Guys. Nice. This year I got to work with Mitch Trubisky, Garrett Bowles. They're 2 first-rounders this year. Continue with those guys. I've just really created a great relationship with Rep 1 Sports, and all their top guys I now work with all over the country. So it's been really fun. So that's been more of my focus. Outside of Hicks, last year working with Matt Duffy, but then he had surgery this past offseason.
Yeah.
I haven't really done much with baseball since those 2 guys. So,
are you surprised that Trubisky went number 1 with the Bears?
I really wasn't. Last year working with Wentz and Goff, Carson Wentz really stood out to me. He was just the minute I met him, I said this kid should be the first kid taken. He ended up going number 2. But Mitch Trubisky was a lot like him. Incredible work ethic. They eat perfect. They train hard. They don't go out and get in trouble.
Right.
They're just incredibly driven kids. That they want anything and everything to help them go to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't surprise me at all. I think Chicago made a great pick. And I think this kid, just like I called with Carson Wentz, is going to be a great quarterback in the NFL.
Well, as an Eagles fan, thank you.
I'm hoping they don't. Hey, I'll tell you. I also worked with. I'm friends with your long snapper, the magician. John Dornbach.
Yeah.
Nice. Not Dornbach. All I can think of is Dambach right now. Dornbach. John Dornbach. I played junior college football with that guy down here in California. He's brilliant, amazing guy. And then Mac, the receiver from University of North Carolina, I got to work with this offseason as well. He's a super freak. That kid,
nice.
I put 25 pounds of muscle on that kid in like 8 weeks. It was shocking.
Wow.
So, I provided all the nutrition stuff for him, and his strength coach and everything. They jacked him up. He's just shredded, and he's freaky fast and great hands. He's going to be a stand-up for you guys, I think.
Nice. Hey, so let's talk a little bit about your Cubs. I know you're kind of on a tight schedule, and so, as is Ryan, we want to get you guys out of here. But, Cubs, they finally did it.
I know. How great was that?
It was pretty fun. For me, as a baseball fan, not necessarily a Cubs fan, but as a baseball fan, one of the greatest moments ever.
100%.
And I'll tell you what, man, there were tears. there literally were tears as the Cubs were winning because of the streak. They had finally won. We had grown up, as the Cubs, as the lovable losers.
Yeah, when pigs fly and the Cubs win the World Series, that was always it. Yeah.
And they finally did it, and they did it with such class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
oh man, when they started losing it in the ninth or was it the ninth inning? They kind of started falling apart in the 7th inning, moving to the 9th inning. I thought it was over, and I was like losing my mind. My daughter's like, "Daddy, it's just a baseball game." And I just looked at her.
No.
My wife just quietly escorted all the kids out of the living room.
and I think like most lifelong Cubs fans, I was really pulling for the Cubs for Brad because of everything I've seen him endure over the past 11 to 12 years, even in his own house. He can't even convince family members to be Cubs fans. So
it's funny, when they had pulled off the World Series, that Brad was the first person I thought of as well. And it was like, and I think I texted you that night, if I remember right, and about finally doing it, and but man, that was awesome, and and they're primed to make another run this year. They stay healthy and everything, and
They're going to be good for a while.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They've got a young system. I mean, most of those guys, it was their first or second year last year when they won the World Series. They're only going to go up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little bit younger.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this Hap kid that just came up. He's a stud, too.
Hap, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian Hap.
We need to cut you guys loose so everybody can get to their destinations. But we need to, definitely we need to get you back on, and let's get together. Maybe Dom can come on into town when you're in town, and we could sit down over a brew and a burger or something like that, and just sit the recorder down and talk baseball.
That'd be amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Brad.
Can I tell you guys one quick story?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you one quick story before we jump off.
Absolutely.
Dambach got me into the batting cage one day. Just gave me a couple quick tips on my swing. And this is after I was done playing, and I took one swing, hit a ball, put the bat down, and said, I don't even want to know. I do not want to know what could have been possible had I known this 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So his stuff is absolutely amazing. From the hitting side, I mean, from all aspects of baseball, and the mental side is unreal. So I hope he uncovers some of that stuff with you guys.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. He dropped some knowledge on us, and I'm loving I'm loving the mental game more and more, and especially coaching my two nephews and stuff like that. And good God, those guys are mental, and so they need help.
Yeah.
Hey Brad,
We all are.
thanks for coming on, and hopefully we'll see you in July.
Awesome, sounds good. Good chatting with all you guys.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Talk to you soon, bud.
All
right. So let's wrap this up so Ryan could get on over to Dozer Days. Hey, man, thanks for coming on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Enjoyed it.
And so let's do this again soon.
Yes, let's do it for sure.
All right. Hey, so we'll be back at 11 o'clock, Joe, Brian, and I, with Brooke Knight, manager of the Corvallis Knights. We'll see you guys at 11.